Have you ever seriously wondered what would happen if you just stopped? I mean, no phone for a whole week. It almost sounds impossible, right? But today, we're going to dig into what a real digital unplug actually does to your brain.
No, really, think about that for a second. No more scrolling through feeds, no constant buzzing notifications, not even a quick check for the weather. It would just be you and the world, without that little screen in between. It sounds pretty simple, but the effects, well, they might be way more profound than you'd ever imagine.
So what we're talking about here is a 7-day experiment, a digital detox. And look, this isn't about hating on technology, not at all. It's really about creating a little bit of space, just to see what happens to your mind when you take away its most constant companion and, let's be honest, its biggest distraction.
And the goal here? It's pretty ambitious. The idea is that just 7 days is enough for a complete mental reprogram. Now, that is a bold claim. We're not talking about, a literal software update for your brain, but more of a chance to reset the habits and the neural pathways that have been carved out by years and years of constant connection. So how is that even possible? Let's break it down.
Okay, so every journey has to start somewhere. And for this one, it means taking a hard look at the brain you've got right now, the one that's been trained by all those years of digital life. This slide pretty much nails the starting point. On the left, you've got the brain that so many of us are walking around with. It's conditioned by a non-stop fire hose of alerts. It's wired to chase those little dopamine hits from likes and messages. And, yeah, it's dealing with a pretty fractured attention span. And on the right? Well, that's the great unknown. That's what we're here to figure out. In those first few hours, the challenge isn't even really mental. It's physical. It's all about muscle memory. You reach for your pocket when you're waiting in line. You glance over at the nightstand first thing in the morning. It's like a phantom limb. Your brain literally feels its absence.
And that initial physical twitchiness, it quickly builds into what is, by pretty much all accounts, the hardest part of this whole experiment. Those first 2 days, when you're forced to just sit with the quiet your device used to fill.
And yeah, this seems to be the universal truth of the digital detox. That first 48-hour window is this massive hurdle, where your brain is actively, physically fighting against this new quiet reality and just craving its old patterns. So what does that fight actually feel like? Well, it usually comes down to 3 big things. First, this totally overwhelming sense of boredom. All those little 2-minute gaps in your day, waiting for coffee in an elevator, are suddenly just empty. Then you get the phantom vibrations, where your nervous system is so trained, it literally invents the buzz of a phone that isn't even there. And of course, the big one, a powerful wave of FOMO, that deep anxiety that you're missing out on something vital happening out there. But here's the thing. If you can just push through that initial wall of discomfort, something pretty incredible starts to happen. Your brain stops fighting the change,